I'm sure you've seen this type of meme on Facebook. They show you a complicated looking series of numbers and state that if you can solve it, that you must be borderline genius. Now, if you hold the right mindset, it will only take you about 10-20 seconds to solve. If you've already solved it, please keep watching because I want to explain the deception that they use. First, notice that the second number is always less than the first number. Notice that the progression of the first number shows no apparent pattern. Neither does the second column. We start with 7 plus 3 equals 41021. Obviously it doesn't, as 7 plus 3 equals 10. So then we challenge the presuppositions in the modifiers. There is a plus and an equal sign. The one we go for is the plus sign. Now, if you accept the presupposition, then you will never solve the problem. So what is a linguistic presupposition? A presupposition is the condition or element in a statement which has to be true in order for the sentence to make sense. So the cat sat on the mat. For this sentence to be true, there has to be a cat and a mat. Let's say there is a real cat and a politician tells us that the cat sat on the mat. If we accept that statement as true, then we have created in our mind thought that there is such a thing as a mat and a cat, and that the cat sat on the mat. But what if there is no cat? What if there is no mat? So the mat may or may not exist in reality, and the cat may or may not in reality have sat on the mat. If you accept the deception, the fraud of 7 plus 3 equals 41021, then where else have you accepted deception? Where else in your life have you been lied to? Do you accept what your politicians tell you? Do you accept what the banks tell you? Do you accept what your religious teachers tell you? Do you accept what the books on history tell you? Do you accept what the media tells you? Or do you become a majority of one and learn to challenge everything for the truth? Now, NLP gives us a number of tools to do just that. And one of our primary tools is the NLP meta model. So once you've watched this video, make sure that you run through the series of videos I created on the NLP meta model. Then you will understand what I'm trying to show you in this video. So now we come back to the 7 plus 3 equals 41021. We look at that and see that it is patently untrue. Who are they trying to kid? Okay? What is the lie they are trying to use to deceive us with? So what are we doing? We are now asking questions. And we need to ask questions that will take us to the heart of the matter and solve the problem. So looking at 7 plus 3, we ask, what questions do we need to ask? What process do we apply to the numbers 7 and 3 so that we get 41021? And you have to keep in mind that there may be no pattern. And they could be random numbers that some idiot created to get us to waste time on Facebook. So now we look at 41021. What processes can we apply to numbers? The basic processes are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So now we test. 7 plus 3 equals 10. That happens to be the second and third numbers in 41021. 7 minus 3 equals 4. That's the first number. 7 times 3 equals 21. And that's the last two numbers. So the process is to subtract the second number from the first, 7 minus 3 equals 4. Then add the two numbers, so 7 plus 3 equals 10. Multiply the two numbers, so 7 times 3 equals 21. So how did you just increase your IQ and move into borderline genius? By asking questions. In this case, by challenging the presuppositions in the statement and then by asking questions that help you to discover the processes required to solve the problem. So to finish off this video, keep in mind questions, statements, and commands, and the difference between process and content, such that the pattern recognition mechanism in your brain gets stimulated. All the best to you, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.